Hey Aquarius, how are you guys? I almost been like, I'm good. I don't know why. It was kind of like a response to like, if you asked me how I was, you know how like, I don't know, that was weird. Yeah. So I feel like right now you're putting pieces to a puzzle that you've been trying to find out. It could be in the matters of the heart. And right now you could be going through a situation where you're taking time for yourself. Something could have happened recently that you just need to take some time for yourself and heal some wounds. Because if something comes again, like love, because it's saying love is in the air, you don't want to just push it away. Because the universe might be guiding you towards someone and it's saying just let everything take its course. So take some time out for yourself to get beyond the situation and be ready. If you already have somebody in your life that this could be towards, it's asking you to find what commitment means to you. Now, I just did this with Leo, so you could be dealing with a Leo. What is a commitment? Okay, so a commitment is, to me, isn't like, oh, I'm not going to cheat. Oh, I'm not going to do this, blah, 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 blah. To me, it's standing the test of time. It's, you know, not giving up. It's, if you love this person, then you'll keep going at it. You'll keep working with them. You won't just get in a fight and be like, okay, I'm done. Like, you'll take the time out to, I mean, obviously these people, the person needs to, okay, this is, the person has to be in the same boat as you. It can't just be you doing all the work, right? So if that's the case, you got to commit to yourself. You should commit to yourself anyways, and your happiness and whatever it is that you want to achieve in this lifetime and whatever it is you want to experience as love, whatever, you know what I mean? Because if you have the strength within yourself to have that power of such a powerful love that it's like a magnet that draws you and somebody else together, especially if you've already been dealing with them, that means something, okay? And when you're linked to somebody, that bond grows stronger over time, right? So your soul right now is preparing to reestablish trust in the process of whatever this is that you're taking time out to forget those scars. I wouldn't say forget those scars, but yes. So this is what it means to me, okay? You don't have to forget your past, but you got to let go of the emotion behind the memories, because sometimes the memories aren't even real. Like, sometimes the situation isn't even real. And if you're waiting for an answer, you can't focus on the situation in that energy. You need to look kind of like as a third person, or what would you say to your friend if they were in the same kind of situation, right? So right now, if you are dealing with somebody and you're trying to heal these wounds, try to think of a time or everything that you appreciate about this person. What made you get into this connection? What made you want to link up with them? And I don't mean sex. I mean like emotionally invested and all that. Because even when you feel lost, there's always a way out of the maze, right? So that's what I mean by get ahead of it. Making boundaries, so when the situation comes, don't be weary and automatically resist it, because if the universe is trying to give you somebody, there's a reason, okay? So when it says just let everything take its course, if you feel like it, put up boundaries with this person. If it's a person that you've already dealt with that you're taking time away from. If it's a new person, have healthy boundaries already set so you know what you will and will not tolerate, okay? Because you might have an acceleration of speeding up and chasing the results that you want. And if that's the choice, the whatever, you got to know what that is first. And if you don't know what that is first, then how are you going to go about it? How are you going to know how to navigate this situation or this relationship or a commitment with you or yourself or with somebody else if you don't feel like you have all the answers to everything that's been, either with this person or with another person, where it comes to you don't know the other answers with your past. So, whatever. And you don't need to. You don't need to know anymore. You don't need to know anymore. You just need to separate yourself from the experience and the emotion. Because if you can't do that, something can trigger you and it's going to bring you back into that emotion, which is going to bring you back into that experience, which is going to bring you back to a memory that could have happened 5 years ago, and you're still bitter over it, and it's like you're not going to be able to get over it. And if you're so bitter over something over and over and over again about the same thing, it's going to keep happening in all your relationships. So you have to set up boundaries before, knowing what you will and will not tolerate. And don't just be like, oh, we're done, I don't want to deal with you. No, the universe is bringing you this person or bringing you closer within yourself to figure this stuff out, so you don't keep running, so you don't keep feeling like you're stuck in a maze and the only way to get out of it is to get out, is to leave this person, is to give up, is to just be like, this is too hard, I don't want to do this, to feel like you're putting in more work than the other person, because you don't know that. You don't know what you don't know what the other person has been through in their own life. People do things differently. So the way you look at something and the way that person is doing something could be completely different from how you would do it, but that doesn't mean that they're doing it wrong. They're just doing it in a different way. And if you've lived their life, you don't know if you would have done the same exact thing that they would have done, or if you would have made it better or a different choice. And that doesn't mean, and honestly, like, your way is no better than another person's. No sin is better than another. Sin is a sin. You know what I mean? A decision is a decision. It might be, a perspective is a perspective, and everybody's perspective, their own perspective, is right because it's theirs. Just because it doesn't line up with your beliefs and your inner working or whatever does not mean that it's wrong for them, because they've lived a different life. And even though you might think that you know them, it doesn't mean anything. But if you ask somebody and have that boundary, like, why did you do this? Why did you act this way? Like, what was the reaction? Like, what triggered that out of you? Then you might actually understand. You have to ask these questions and not just sweep everything under the rug just so it will go away and you don't have any confrontation, because it's not real life. So in order for whatever it is that you want to happen sooner and accelerate, you gotta try to forget the emotional responses. Heal. See, like, inner work is on. Wasn't inner work just on top? Oh, did I end up? Oh no, it's on the bottom. Like, God brings me ideal situations for my inner healing. As I become aware of my weaknesses, I turn them into strengths. I direct my thoughts toward the light and see the positive side of every stage of my life. Darkness turns into courage, thus I get stronger, right? That's through your sacral chakra, of finding your identity, knowing who you are, knowing what you will and will not deal with and tolerate, knowing what you do and do not want. Because when you know what you do want, you know what you don't want. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And it could be like, in a relationship, you'd be like, I want everything opposite of what they did. Then don't deal with anything from another person of what they did, and set those boundaries, right? Now, the tree, it says, tell the tree what you really think. So you can look at that image as it threw on the floor. This is I have a deck, a past life deck, and one of the things are trees. So this whole deck is about trees. It's weird, because it's called the telepathy oracle cards. So you'd think that they'd be like all spiritual images or something, and they're not. They're about trees. Trust your intuition is yes. It's all trees. Yeah, union. It's all trees. So it's like, it's just weird. Because, like, you look at these trees and they're, like, kind of all the same. So it's like, if you read by images, which I do a lot of the times, you can't get as different out of it. So they're kind of, like, all the same. But, the thing is that it said in there, like, if you were, like, you could have been a tree in a past life, okay? So when I think of that, I think of what is it that I think is beautiful about trees. And I love the swaying, right? So I always think of the song Sway With Me. And I used to be in dance, and we had a recital, and one of the songs was Sway With Me. Like, I can think of it, the words and the thing and the whatever, but I can't speak them right now. Sway with me. I don't know. But I remember, like, the dress that I was wearing and everything like that, like the costume, and it was so pretty. But, like, think of what makes you love trees and relate that to yourself. Like, if you're a tree hugger, trees, earth, standing on earth, like, with no shoes on is the most grounding and relaxing thing that you can do, because you're putting your bare feet on earth, like consciousness. Wind through trees, consciousness. People think that when they're in nature more, they connect more to it, which is consciousness. It's God, it's whatever, creation. And when they say that they're out there enough that they can start hearing the trees, they can start hearing the wind within the trees, you know what I mean? And they get messages. And if you're highly spiritual, this happens easier. But even if you're not, it doesn't matter. Like, you can still pick out of a tree what you love about them. It could be, like, the fact that they, like, you know, when they cut them down, unfortunately. It's so sad. Like, they're cutting down trees everywhere right now. You see, like, all the, like, woodland animals, like the deer, like, just coming out. Like, there's bunnies everywhere. Like, they don't know where to go. They don't have anywhere to go anymore. It's just sad. But, like, it could even be about, like, you thinking how cool it is that there's rings, and that's how many years it says, like, that's how long they've been around, you know what I mean? Like, so it could be about wisdom, like, you know, but be a tree hugger. Like, it feels so good. Like, you just hug them, and, you know, you don't have to do it in person. You can do it when nobody's around, but it's so freeing and liberating. I don't know, it's living, you know what I mean? So you got inner beauty. So this is going to be your crown chakra, which is more of your spirituality, your enlightenment, you know, whatever. I open the eyes of my heart and direct the gaze. Inner beauty. I open the eyes of my heart and direct my gaze to the light within every being. Why can't I talk? One more time. Inner beauty. I open the eyes of my heart and direct my gaze to the light within every being. Personality and physical appearances are in the image of man. Beauty and goodness are in the image of God. So that's another thing. What kind of personality do you want to have? How do you want to change? Like, who do you want to be? Like, your personality is the kind of person that you are in your reality. Love it. So that's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope this helped in some way. Bye, guys.